Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. I woke up like this, deep divers all magical and fly, just, whoa, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Raising the frequency. I feel so much better now. Raising the vibration. Deep divers, I said, I feel so much better now. Sending you a wave of good ass energy, deep divers. The cat down the road said, you feel so much better now. Let me say a big shout out to everybody out there who's joined the new Ralph Smart Patreon page for all new exclusive content that's going to help you become your greatest version. Patreon.com/Ralph Smart. Deep divers, click the link down below and be inspired. Deep divers, we finally made it. Feel Alive 2. Feel Alive 2, Unlock Your Infinite Power. The new book by Ralph Smart is now available on ebook, EPUB, okay, Kindle. Go and get yourself an early copy, deep divers. ralphsmart.com/the-book. Click the link down below. 10 years in the making, 500 pages. The secret recipe to becoming your greatest version. You're going to love it. Now, deep divers, TikTok is banned in the US. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about it. Even the cat down the road was kind of shocked, like, oh my gosh, I don't believe it, Ralph. Yes, because millions of people are addicted to TikTok. How on earth are they going to live without TikTok? Right? Uh-oh, what's happening? Deep divers, has the world ended? TikTok is banned. People are having panic attacks, anxiety attacks. It's crazy. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello? Look, if you are watching this video, this is your confirmation. Something good is coming your way. If you're ready for that, just say thank you. Now, deep divers, we're going to talk about TikTok being banned in the US. It goes dark. Things they're not telling you. Oh, deep divers, this information I'm going to share with you right now is going to blow your entire mind away in a good way. Look, hit that like button if you support the real. Deep divers, hit that like button right now if you support the real, because we got a whole lot to talk about. So, TikTok banned in the US. Things they're not telling you about the TikTok ban in the US. Now, we're going to play the official news story. Then I'm going to tell you what's really going on. So let's play the official news story, deep divers.
TikTok has stopped working in the United States. It's disappeared from Apple and Google app stores too, as part of a blackout ahead of a law implementing its shutdown. The US has cited national security concerns about the Chinese-owned video app, but President-elect Donald Trump has said he will probably give it a 90-day reprieve from the ban. Well, let's speak to a North America technology correspondent, Lily Jamali, who's in San Francisco for us. So, Lily, just tell us what happens when people in America try to access TikTok at the moment.
Well, I can tell you from personal experience, because I have it pulled up right here on my phone, that I'm getting a message that says, sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. And I imagine the 170 million other American users are now getting that very same message. It then says that a law banning TikTok has been enacted. That's part of the story here. That's part of the law that was passed by Congress last year, which you mentioned went through on national security grounds, concerns about Chinese ownership of the app. But left out in this statement by TikTok is the fact that TikTok and its Chinese owner, they've had 9 months to sell this app to a U.S. buyer, and they didn't do that. Of course, both of these options are clearly unsavory to the company. But at this point, they have exhausted every legal avenue at their disposal. They've taken this to a U.S. appeals court where the law was upheld. The Supreme Court did the same on Friday. They do, of course, have an ally, as you noted, in President-elect Donald Trump, who takes office the day after, so tomorrow on Monday. And he, as you mentioned, has said he will try to enact he's likely to, is the phrasing that he used, to enact a reprieve of about 3 months. The question is whether legally he can actually do that.
And so why has the company chosen to effect this ban, even though it has, a very powerful ally in Donald Trump? Talk us through the ecosystem about how Americans access TikTok and the companies that could have been liable if they'd continued making it accessible.
Well, as of right now, this law is in force. Donald Trump is not the president. Joe Biden is the president, as you know. And even though Joe Biden has said, his administration has said that they will not enforce this law, companies involved here are technically flouting the law if they continued to uphold the status quo. So that would include companies like Oracle, the web hosting service. They basically have all this data on their servers. And so they have taken action, presumably. You mentioned the app stores. So Apple and Google administer the biggest app stores in the United States, where most Americans go to put the app, to put TikTok on their devices. These various aspects of the ecosystem, these different companies all faced legal action if they didn't do something as of Sunday. And they also faced potentially very steep fines. So yes, Donald Trump comes into office on Monday and can, tell these various companies that he can try and assure them, but they are still flouting the law if they didn't do something.
And talk to us about the possible individuals or companies that could buy the TikTok operations in the United States, and crucially, some allies of Donald Trump.
Yeah, there's a number of potential suitors that have come forward. Most recently, Perplexity AI, which is one of the many AI startups that has cropped up in recent years. But individuals include Donald Trump's former Treasury Secretary, Steven Mnuchin, who floated, he was interested earlier this year when the law first took effect. Another prominent suitor is a billionaire investor named Frank McCourt, who has put a group of investors together. He has made the media rounds, done a lot of interviews talking about what he'd like to do with the app. But the most probably well-known and most interesting, I would say, of the potential suitors here is Elon Musk. He, of course, owns X, formerly known as Twitter. He is a close ally of Donald Trump, campaigned for Donald Trump in the run-up to November's election, and also contributed about $250 million to Donald Trump's re-election campaign. There is talk that he might take over by TikTok and potentially merge it with what was once known as Twitter.
Lily Jamali, thank you very much for that.
Right, so I had to play you that kind of summary by the mainstream news outlets about what's going on with this TikTok debacle being banned in the US, and now they're even saying that it actually might be banned in other countries as well, like the UK. So look, things they're not telling you about this TikTok ban. You see, they want to buy TikTok. People like Elon Musk want to buy TikTok because TikTok is the most powerful app in the world. 170 million users just in the US alone. There's a reason why they want to buy TikTok. And there's a reason why China said, no, you can't buy it. And that's the reason why Congress said, okay, well, TikTok poses a national security risk. So we are saying it has to be banned in the US, okay? But there's more to this story, Deep Divers. First and foremost, let me just read you this because this is fascinating. This is by Chris Stokel Walker, okay? He wrote TikTok Boom, the insider story of the world's favorite app, okay? YouTube attained 2 billion monthly active users after 15 years. After 15 years of existence, and Facebook took 13 years. If TikTok keeps its current trajectory, it will probably reach that level in a quarter of the time. This has never been seen before. It's never been done before. This is the reason why TikTok is hot property. That's the reason why Elon Musk wants to buy it. Other investors in the US want to buy it. They want to come together, right? I heard someone saying something like 20 billion, right? But the Chinese are saying no. So Congress, their story is that Twitter is a national security risk because it's a Chinese company. They could be spying on the US, collecting data. And that's the reason why it's currently banned in the US. Now they're saying that Trump could be the savior and, enact that 90-day extension. But you see, this is not going to end easily. But there's another reason why TikTok is banned. I'm going to come to that. But let's play the response of a lot of TikTokers, right, when they heard this news. This is really funny.
Sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. Law banning TikTok has been enacted in the U.S. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok.
So I guess TikTok.
It only gives me an option to close the app.
Do not leave the fucking stream. Yeah, TikTok. If you leave,
Guys, if you leave, you're gone.
Wait, it popped up the moment I opened my thing. They might not. How many viewers do we have?
Still says the same. Oh fuck! It came up on this phone.
How many stream?
Oh,
How many?
God.
Guys, breaking fucking
This one has
news.
23K.
Go to Twitch. Go to Twitch.
Go to Twitch. Go to
Twitch. Twitch.
You got people who literally live on TikTok, right? And I've been on TikTok a few times, deep divers. I got to tell you, TikTok is really addictive, right? It's really addictive, and it kind of sucks you in. As soon as you're on the app, you're kind of like there for a long time. And you got to remind yourself that the average screen time in the US is over 7 hours. It's over 6 hours and 50 minutes worldwide. So TikTok is this super addictive app which keeps users on it. But there's a reason why they're banning TikTok in the US. And one of the reasons, deep divers, is because it's dumbing down the US population. And many people in Congress know this. They're like, we got a serious problem. Because you see, deep divers, what they have in China, the TikTok they have in China is totally different from the TikTok they have in the US. So in the US, the TikTok is just like gossip, drama, mindless entertainment, and you can be there for 4 or 5 hours. What they're seeing, what the US government is seeing, is that there's a decline in people, young people, wanting to work regular jobs. That's number one. There's a decline in a lot of young people aspiring to be something other than an influencer. Right? So it's a big problem because in China, it's the total opposite, right? Their TikTok is full of educational videos. Their TikTok is all about, hey, you can learn this, you can learn that. But the US don't have that TikTok. Worldwide, they don't even have that TikTok. It's only in China. So what the Chinese are showing their population on the app is totally different. Okay, and I'll play you a little clip explaining this. This is one of the main reasons why they want to keep that ban. They want to keep that ban on TikTok permanent, because it's not just about TikTok being a national security risk. Yes, but also because they realize that if China owns TikTok, they can control the programming of America's young population. And they are already doing it in terms of when you go on TikTok, it's just full of a lot of things which are going to distract you. And that's the whole point, because if you can dumb down the young population, who's going to control the future? Slow motion this side. That's the reason why there's a big battle happening right now with the US and China. Trump might not even be able to save the day, because you see, even though if he puts that 90-day extension, Supreme Court could say, actually, no, it doesn't matter. So let me play you that news clip explaining the difference between TikTok in the US and compared to China. Take a look, deep divers.
I was part of a Chinese foreign exchange student program when I was in high school, and this is what they told me about the differences of TikTok in China and the United States. And the biggest difference is what the algorithm promotes in China, which is mainly, if not in some cases, only educational resources, a lot to do with science and math in the fields of STEM is what fills their social media accounts. While in the United States, the algorithm for TikTok promotes entertainment purposes for the most part. So while you think that China is actually attacking us in a cyber attack to get our data, they're not. The real attack is the education that is going to be extremely different across these two countries in the future, considering that United States here, we are limiting the amount of books and resources for our generation to be able to view and gain knowledge from. However, in China, the only thing that they provide them with is resources of education and knowledge. So you'll see the real attack in the future when they are immensely ahead of us and technological scientific advantages. So food for thought.
So deep divers, that's one of the reasons why they want to keep that ban in the US permanent. And that's the reason why, because like you see, there's a difference between China's TikTok and the US's TikTok, right? So in China, they've got educational content. In the US, it's just full of mindless entertainment, full of distractions, right? So this is affecting the future, because the young people are the future, right? And let me just say this, deep divers, like, I'm not really on TikTok. I've got a TikTok account, but I'm not like depending on TikTok. I don't even depend on YouTube. I got my own website, ralphsmart.com. I love YouTube though, but if it was to go down, I'm going to be good. To people who are on TikTok, right? This ban is a wake-up call. This ban is a wake-up call. Don't place all of your eggs in one basket, because at any time they can pull the plug. A lot of people are making a good living on TikTok, eating good, but now they're looking a little bit shaky, baby. So always remind yourself, don't just rely on these apps to feed yourself. Get your own website out there. And this was a news report I'll play for you of a woman saying actually she relies on TikTok. A lot of people need TikTok, right, for a living and their business. And take a listen.
You're a New York Times bestselling author, a host of a podcast. Some would ask, do you even really need TikTok? Why are those relationships and friendships not continuing beyond this ban?
That's a really great question, but to answer it very succinctly, yes, I do. I do need TikTok to continue engaging with the community that I've spent over 4.5 years building. Wow. It's a unique community, and it's not something that can be replicated really at all on the other platforms. Not to mention the fact that I was deriving significant income from my small business on TikTok. So that will also be sorely missed. But right now, I'm just missing hearing from the thousands of people who continue to be reached by my content.
After all of these years of you having access to this app, and I'm guessing uploading content whenever you wanted to, talk me through that moment when you logged onto TikTok and you immediately were told to close it down because the ban had come into effect.
It was extremely surprising how emotional I got. I have been preparing for this for days and weeks.
That's all we need to hear. Emotional damage, right? A lot of people are emotional right now because of this because of this TikTok ban. A lot of people are emotional, and you got people who are even protesting in DC, keep TikTok, and you're going to see more of that. You're going to see more of that. What do I feel is going to happen to TikTok? I truly feel that it's going to be very interesting what happens. I don't feel China is going to sell TikTok to the US. And therefore, I feel that Trump is going to enact that 90-day extension. And then after that, TikTok is going to go dark. So like I told you, if you're on TikTok, just start looking elsewhere, because this is not just about TikTok. This is about control. TikTok is the most powerful app in the world. China don't want the US to own it. And the US say if you own TikTok, that means you are posing a national security risk to our country. So, there's a big battle happening. The cat down the road has his popcorn. Deep divers in becoming your greatest version. Always remind yourself that create your own platform. Create your own website. This will help you become your greatest version. Deep divers, hit that like button if you support The Real. Share this video. Hit that like button right now if you support The Real. Share this video. Subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you join the new Ralph Smart Patreon page for all new exclusive content that's going to help you become your greatest version. Patreon.com/Ralph Smart. Deep divers, click the link down below. And we finally made it. Go and get the new book, Feel Alive 2, Unlock Your Infinite Power by Ralph Smart, now available on EPUB, ebook, and Kindle, coming soon to paperback and hardback. ralphsmart.com/the book deep divers. Click the link down below and be inspired. Also, go and get the Good Ass Prana shirts, deep divers. All new designs you're going to love for men, women, children, even cats down the road at ralphsmart.com/clothes and spreadshirt.com if you're in America. And if you're a sexy ass model, woo! With a whole lot of heart, you want to model the clothing? Well, go and buy some. Deep divers, let's continue to raise the frequency. That's why I'm just saying, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello there? Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Remind yourself, like, this is a wake up call. You don't want to be addicted to TikTok. And let this be a wake up call, because at any moment they can just shut down the entire app. So it's a wake up call. Hey, start meeting people in real life, not just on an app. Peace. Infinite waters diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace. Yo! Once again, deep divers, hit that like button right now if you support the real. Share this video, subscribe to the channel. Once again, hit that like button right now if you support the real. And leave a comment down below of gratitude and appreciation. And let me know if this has affected you. Let me know if this TikTok ban has affected you, deep divers. Let me know your thoughts. So, once again, one love. Peace.